Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Fida Hussain and today's topic is conjunction. Conjunction is a connector that connects words, phrases, clauses and sentences. So let's begin. In this lecture we will focus on what is conjunction, types of conjunctions, common errors in the use of conjunctions, and we will practice questions also. A conjunction connects two or more sentences, clauses or parts of clauses. Some of the most common conjunctions in English are and, because, but, for, nor, so, until, when and yet. And there are three types of conjunctions are coordinating conjunction, number 2 subordinated conjunctions, and number 3 correlative conjunctions. There are also some other types of conjunctions. For example, coopulative conjunction, adversative conjunction, disjunctive conjunction, and final conjunctions. So conjunctions are used in a sentence to connect. Jamil and Kashif are two friends. And is joining two nouns acting as the subject, Jamil and Kashif. Look at the types of conjunction. We have three types: coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, and correlative. So first discuss coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction join two independent clauses. My dear students, as you know that clause is the part of a sentence having subject and verb of its own, that is called a clause. So what is the salient feature of coordinating conjunction? That it joins two independent clauses or equal grammatical components like subject. If there are two subjects, a coordinating conjunction will join. If there are two verbs, coordinating conjunction will join. If two clauses, coordinating conjunction will join. But remember, when using a conjunction to join two independent clauses, use a comma. If your conjunction joins clauses, don't forget to use comma before. Look at the example. I am a night owl. She is an early bird. These are the two clauses. Clause, if a statement has subject and verb, it calls a clause. So this conjunction carries a comma before. We are going to a zoo and an aquarium. Here a zoo and an aquarium are being combined, so no need to use comma. He went to the pool, comma, and then he took the. So either side you can have the clauses. So and is a conjunction and comma is written. He went to the pool but he did not swim. Again we have two clauses on either side, comma, fan voice will be used. She swam, comma, and then she ate. So in either case you can see if there are clauses on either side, we will use comma before a conjunction. But if we are using connecting a word or two words together by using and, no need to use comma. So here is the look at the placement of conjunction. So coordinating conjunction can join two clauses in this way, like independent clause at the start and at the end. In between there will be a coordinating conjunction with comma. So normally the conjunctions that we use to join independent clauses are called fan voice. Here take a look of it: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These 7 conjunctions are called coordinating conjunctions, and remember that they only join two independent clauses. Then comes subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction, as the word subordinate stands for dependent. Subordinate, the one who takes the order from his boss, that is called subordinate. And similarly, a conjunction that connects a dependent clause with an independent clause is called subordinating conjunctions. So such conjunctions like if, though, although, when, while, until, till, after, before, as, they join independent clause with the subordinate clause. Look at this: as he is ill. This is dependent clause. He cannot come. This is independent clause. Although he is poor, that is dependent clause. He is honest. So this is dependent clause. At the start of dependent clause, you can see a subordinate conjunction. In the first example, as; in the second example, although are subordinating conjunctions. Further examples: if you work hard, if subordinate conjunction; while walking on the road, again subordinate conjunction; and the clause which these conjunctions are starting are called dependent clauses. Subordinate conjunctions are used to form a complex sentence. So whenever these conjunctions are used to join two clauses, that sentence will be called a complex sentence. Look at the subordinating conjunctions: while, as soon as, although, before, even if, because, wherever, when, as if, unless. The pattern that you may use: start with a subordinating conjunction. This conjunction begins a dependent clause like since he passed his examination, since he passed his English exam, comma, John has been very happy. The green one is independent clause, a red one is dependent clause, and the starter of the dependent clause is called subordinating conjunction. Then comes correlative conjunctions. Correlative, as the word co stands for, two words work in collaboration, work in combination. So correlative conjunctions have usually two parts. The correlative conjunctions are just coordinating conjunction with an additional adverbial element. Correlative conjunctions are always used in pairs. They join similar elements. Look at the sentence: you should enter both the date and the time. Here both and are used to join the date and the time. So these conjunctions act in pairs. They work in pairs. So in examination you have to be very particular about them. If one part is used in the earlier stage of the sentence, the second part is mandatory to be used. You cannot skip that part, or you cannot replace that part with any other conjunction. These are the fixed patterns. These are called combinations. Second example: neither John's friends nor John is interested in buying your car. Here neither nor is joining two subjects, John's friends and John is interested. So subjects are being joined by correlative conjunctions. Look at these correlative pairs. They are often used in English. These are also called combinations. Students, keep in mind that combination errors are very much common in an Mdcat examination. So what are you supposed to learn? First part is never a mistake. If correlative conjunctions are used, second part will be or can be a mistake. So you have to learn these pairs and practice them accordingly. So first pair: after both we always use and, no other coordinated conjunction. Either or, neither nor, not only but also, but as well, but to, whether or, no or not, takes, but, just as, so too, no sooner than, no other than, hardly, scarcely, when or before, as and as. This is usually used to express adjectives: as tall as, so as, again adjective but after a negative statement. I have told this thing in my lecture on adjectives. So these are the pairs you are supposed to keep in mind. If a negative correlative conjunction joins two clauses and comes in the start of a clause, put helping verb before the subject. Like neither is a negative verb. You cannot use a subject after it. If you begin your sentence with a negative adverb takes a verb after it. Neither does he work will be correct. Neither he works will be incorrect. Example: now you are supposed to understand the feature which has been used in the sentence. Now students, you are supposed to find out whether she is neither polite So neither is correlative. What is the second part of neither? Definitely neither nor. Here one of the example is given. Have you made a decision about dash to go to the movies dash not? About if to or either to go or not, whether to go or not. When there is a choice, we use whether or. This will be our answer. Made a decision about whether to go to the movies or not. That will be our answer. So pair is whether or. Next sentence, dash had I put my umbrella away, dash it started raining. Definitely two actions are being mentioned. Here we need correlative conjunction. No sooner than, that will be correct. No sooner had I put my umbrella away than it started raining. This salad is dash delicious, dash healthy. Two adjectives are being used. Definitely no other pair but both and. This salad is both delicious and healthy. Here another type of conjunction is conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are adverbs, as you know, they modify the verb but they also join two clauses. So that's why they have dual function to perform, modifying a verb or and joining two clauses. So here you can understand the position of conjunctive adverbs. They have three different positions in a sentence. We will later on discuss the examples. First, look at these conjunctive adverbs that you may often find in a long sentence. Accordingly, however, nonetheless, also, indeed, otherwise, besides, instead, similarly, consequently, likewise, still, conversely, meanwhile, subsequently, finally, moreover, then, furthermore, nevertheless, therefore, hence, next, thus. A semicolon and a comma are used when a conjunctive verb separates two main clauses. Find this is the pattern as we just have seen the picture. The cat ate a bowl full of tuna. This is conjunctive verb. So you can write, you can punctuate it in this way, semicolon, conjunctive verb, comma, then continue the clause. Use of comma or the way to punctuate conjunctive adverbs. So there are three different ways mentioned over here. The first one, when a conjunctive adverb is used in an introductory word. For example, this is conjunctive verb start the clause or use at an introductory position. So it needs a comma after it. So you will simply write a comma like however, comma and start the clause. If it is used at the start of the clause, use comma. Number two, when conjunctive verbs are within an independent clause, when it is not starting a clause but it is inside a clause, you will separate it simply by using two commas on either side. Number three, when conjunctive verbs join two clauses, when the same conjunctive adverb occurs in between two clauses. For example, he attempted to get this job again. One clause finishes, it proved to be another clause starts. So this conjunctive adverb is between two clauses. So you can use semicolon to the left and comma to the right. There are three different patterns, the way to punctuate and the way to use conjunctive adverbs. So keep practicing, student, and keep in mind these punctuation differences. Let's go through some rules now. Number one, as versus like. Normally students get dodged by using as or like, or they get confused most of the times. As or like seeming to be the same but they are different as well. Can connect a verb and like can connect a noun. In other words, like can be used before noun, as is used before a verb. Look at the example, my brother is tall like my father. So my father is a noun, so you can use like before noun. My brother speaks as my father does. Here we are using as just because it's not having a noun but a verb as well. Does. So whenever we have verb phrase or clause, you may use as, and when you have only noun, you may use like. Other examples, my brother can't play the piano like as he did, so you cannot use them together. It will be redundant. You have to choose whether like is used or as is used. She fought like as, again the same mistake. So be aware of these silly mistakes. Number two, as versus though. As can be used in the sense of though, but they are used in different structures. For example, though he was young. Though can be used before the subject. He is the subject of the clause. You can use though. If your clause begins with an adjective, young, then you will use as. Young as he was. Don't write young though he was. So this is a grammatical difference. Again, though he is a poor, because he is the subject. So keep in mind, if your clause is beginning with a subject, you can use though before it. If your clause is beginning with adjective like young, you may use as. As if versus as though. They are used in subjunctive statements, as if or as though. They are almost same. I felt as if I were dying. I felt as though I was dying. There is no difference. Like cannot be used in place of as if or as though. In subjunctive situation, we cannot use like. I felt like I was dying. That will be wrong. So as versus such as. So as is again a pattern of conjunction. These are the compound conjunction, two words used together with different sense. So as is used to show purpose, such as is used to show result. Purpose and result. We started early so as to get a good seat. His actions were such as to offend everyone. So as to get seat is the purpose. Such as to offend, that is the result, because his action has already offended the people. This is the result. So keep in mind this difference, so as and such as. Such as is also used to show examples, and examples are definitely indicates examples definitely indicate results. Unless versus if. Until and unless are same, both have negative meaning. They are equal to if not. That's why if you begin your clause with unless or until, you are not supposed to use a negative verb after it. After if, you can use positive and negative verbs. If you start, if you don't start, both will be correct. But after unless, you will only use positive verb unless you start. You cannot write unless you do not start. That will be wrong. Such, adjective, such, pronoun. Such is the same word, but it can be used as an adjective. It can be used as a pronoun. So when it is used as an adjective, it will take the correlative part as. If it is used as a pronoun, it will take a correlative part that. For example, I like such persons. Here such person, persons is a noun. So it is modifying a noun, that's why it is an adjective. So as an adjective, it will have the second part that. That is wrong. We have studied such used as adjective will take as. So the second sentence will be correct. First will be wrong. Such was his. Here such is not modifying a noun. Such is used as the subject, was is a verb. So here we can call it a pronoun. Such was his aim as. So we cannot use as in this case. We will use that. Then same as or same that. Look at the pattern. Pattern is quite different. Same as or similar as is used to show the similarity or example or comparisons. And the second pattern is same plus that with verb. This is the same book as ours. The same as ours. This is the same book that ours. So you have to choose. If you have verb, then use same that. So if here in this first sentence we are not having verb after it, same as ours will be correct, same that ours will be wrong. This is the same boy as got first position. After as we have verb, so this is the same boy that got first position. So here if we have a clause after we will use that. If we are having only a noun or pronoun, we will use as after saying. Now students, let's practice some questions. You are supposed to find the correct out of these given four options. Amjad was cold, but he put on a coat. So he put on a, definitely if he was feeling a cold, that's why he put the coat. So is the correct, and with fanboy, comma. Comma is necessary because it is having a clause on either side. Second example, option A, Maria tried to read a novel in French, but it was too difficult. Option A will be correct. So you have to choose out of these 7 fanboys conjunction which is giving proper meanings. To get from Vancouver to Victoria, you can fly, but you can ride the ferry. But you can use a ferry, you can fly, or it means you have an option, or will be you. The waiter was not very nice, or the food was delicious. So or cannot be used over here. Was not very nice, so the food was, but the food was. So this is the opposite contrast, because but is used to show contrast. The waiter was not very nice, but the food was very delicious. Option C. Students, keep in mind, or shows option, so shows results, but shows contrast, add shows addition. I went to buy a Rolling Stone CD, but the shop didn't have it. I went to buy, but. So you can use so because it's not a purpose, or it is not an option, and cannot be used to show addition. Anna needed some money and she took a part-time job. She needed, so why she did the job? Because she needed money. So both clauses have the relation of action and reason. So will be correct. Julie had a guitar, but she plays it really well. No, but is showing contrast here. We don't need any contrast. Julie has a guitar and she plays it well. That's okay. Option B. The concert was cancelled and we went to a nightclub instead. Or is used without conjunction, it will be wrong. But we went, it is not a contrast. So that is the reason. Why you went to nightclub? Because concert was cancelled. So we need reason. Delta is correct. Things were different when I was young. Things were different since I was young. But I was so alpha is okay when I was young. I do it until I like it. I do it until I like it. I do it and I like it. I do it when I like it. I do it because I like it. Option D is correct. Let us wait here although the rain stops. Let us wait here until the rain stops. Here we are not supposed to use comma because these conjunctions are not fanboys conjunction. We can use comma only when we have fanboys conjunction in the center of two independent. You cannot be a lawyer since you have a law degree. You cannot be a lawyer until you have a law degree. You cannot be a lawyer unless you have a law degree. Until when time is mentioned. This is the duration of action to be completed unless. So in this option you will go for C option. You cannot be a lawyer unless you have a law degree. That was years and years ago. That was years but years. Years and years ago, that is correct because we are using fanboy conjunction to show similar items. I saw him leaving an hour or and two ago. I saw him leaving an hour when, that is wrong, an hour or two ago, an hour until two ago. So option C seems to be correct grammatically. Look at this MCQ. This is from Mdcat original paper 2013. The children had bloomed while their stay on the farm. The children had bloomed during their stay on the farm. The children had bloomed on their stay on the farm. Option B is correct. Now let's have a look at another type of question, spotting the error from the same topic. Look at this sentence and you have to find the mistakes related to conjunctions and combinations and the cause of the distance came nearer and nearer, and so you can see option A is taking the wrong start. This conjunction is wrong. We cannot begin any sentence with and. The number of people in the world is rapidly increasing, rather like a snowball. What not only gets bigger as it rolls but goes faster as well. Option B is wrong. Which not only, because a snowball needs a modifier. Here do we need conjunction. Do you think this is something who can be learned? Which can be learned, because thing cannot be connected with who. We use who only for persons. Lucy is the diva. Diva mean very influential lady. Lucy is the diva. Which performance? Diva is an influential lady. We cannot use which, we will use who. Here wheat and other grains as well as olives and other fruit were raised by a peasantry which worked the soil on the shares with the owners. Here you can see peasantry takes which, that is wrong, because which is used as a relative pronoun or relative conjunction to show inanimate or lifeless things. Peasantry is referred back to farmers, so we'll use who worked. I think I know where he left the job, when he left the job. So connector is wrong. Don't go out while you have finished your work. Don't you go until you have finished your work. So that's end of the lecture. That's end of the practice. Keep practicing it at home. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.